Anti-opposite and proto-opposite. Differentiate that's all. कोई मेरे को समझता ना कोई मेरा सुनना से पढ़ा मुझे से टाइप में आप कैसे हो कुछ जब हम बात कर रहे हैं proto-opposite एग्जांपल दीवार को मैं anti-opposite दीवार वो मैं क्वेश्चन बदल कर वो क्वेश्चन पढ़े सुनना होता है समझा रहे हो मस्ती कर रहे हो देखिए इंटेक
Hello, good evening.
Astronauts,
Roshan Sharma, please mute your speaker. Roshan Sharma, can you hear me? Yes. So very good evening to all of you. Today we are going to discuss about the block 2, and this block 2 is concerned with the human evolution. Those who have attended yesterday, I have given you some idea about what exactly physical anthropology means. And while discussing about physical anthropology, we have discussed the concept of physical anthropology. It is nothing but it deals with the biological aspects of a human being, or you can say traditionally it is discussing about the physical aspects of human being. And the journey of understanding the biology of human being is not same when you think about plant and animal sciences. So it has passes through various, you can say, uh, difficult phases. Okay, it is very difficult to dissect a human being. So that dissection of a human being, giving a new phase as far as the modern medicine or human biology is concerned. So prior to that, many biology, you will particularly cytology has developed in the 1600. Then different type of microscopes also developed. So like this way, when you look at the concept of physical anthropology, it emerged within the discipline prior to anthropology as a discipline that came into existence in 1850, 1860s. So that's why the credit is given to Paul Broca, who actually in Paris started the anthropological. Similarly, another German scholar, Blumenbach, was also given the credit because he was the person who first developed the craniology. Why this thing has actually developed and why we are having a curiosity to know about our own biology, our own, you can say, physical appearances. It is these are the things that is with the Europeans because they have their established their colony in different part of the world, and they want to interpret the things the way they have been socialized or the philosophy or uh, the idea that has prevailed during that time period in Europe. Then we have discussed about the principle of monogenism and polygenism, or monogenesis or polygenesis, you can say, that how they interpret when they think about the uh, particularly the humans, they come, particularly the Africans and the Indians, but Asians, when they come in contact. So they try to describe, try to means classify, try to means see the distribution, and the scientific racism begins in the mid part of 19th century, and got its momentum, its peak in the second part of 20th century, ended with the Second World War. And there is a lots of blame game with respect to anthropology as a discipline, with respect to the practices that is made in biological anthropology or physical anthropology. So another scholar, Seward Washburn, in 1951 introduced the concept of new physical anthropology, which is nothing but it is not descriptive, it is more explanatory. And many people also are having an apprehension that this type of science should not be given any space, and it is a pseudoscience, false science. You will find when you will go on critical writings about biological anthropology or physical anthropology. But biology as a branch of knowledge expanded very rapidly during, you can say, last phase of 20th century. With the biology is having integration with the chemistry. You know about biochemistry, with information technology, bioinformatics, with engineering, biotechnology. So people are thinking that the whole 20th century was dominated by biology, and whatever inventions, whatever tools and techniques and methods developed in biological science, ultimately it has a major project that is known as the Human Genome Project in 1990, that was finished completely in 2003, though the drafts were come up. It is centering around humans. And then the real journey of again coming back to the human variation or human classification or human typology, you can say, again begins 20 in 21st century. That's why the present day physical anthropology, because of his adoption of these tools and techniques of biological science, has been known as um, it means biological anthropology, then physical anthropology. Still, you will find in American universities it is a physical anthropology. Most of the Indian university they are using the term biological anthropology. So from physical anthropology to new physical anthropology, 1951 to modern day biological anthropology. Then we have also discussed about what is the close connection with this particular branch of anthropology with others, uh, other sciences, because there are independent disciplines which are also dedicatedly working on the biological aspects of human beings. For example, human biology. So when you go on means exploring the roots of human biology, modern day biology, you will find that there is not much difference between physical anthropology and human biology. But however, today you will find there is a complete demarcation as far as the coverage and the area of understanding is concerned, both in physical anthropology and human biology. Between physical anthropology and human biology, we have another term that is known as human population biology. If you are able to understand what is human population biology, unfortunately in your literature that is not mentioned, but try to understand. Anthropologists are interested in populations, not individuals. That's why human population biology. So whenever we are means discussing about the scope, or you can say branches of physical anthropology, you will find there are dedicated areas like osteology, or you can think about anatomy, climatology, anthropometry, paleoanthropology. So these are all classic branches within physical anthropology. And in new physical anthropology, we are having many more branches. Human genetics was traditionally a branch of physical anthropology. Now, in anthropology, we are using anthropological genetics. Little bit higher version in your, that is the unit 3, you will find that molecular anthropology. Okay, from human genetics to population genetics to anthropological genetics to molecular anthropology. So you will find that how there is a shift happened uh, as far as understanding the biology genetics of a human being is concerned. And similarly, you will find that nutritional anthropology, sports anthropology, demographic anthropology, ergonomics, you will find that epidemiological anthropology, physiological anthropology. So many more branches are there. So yesterday I have just given you, as per your the block that is prescribed for you, three the definitions given by Paul Boca, Hosokovich. These are some of the concept of its and historical development of physical anthropology, its branches, its relations with other sciences like medicine, life sciences, geology or earth science, and forensic science. Then we have just discussed about application of physical anthropology. Then you can talk about, we also discuss phase 1 and phase 2, particularly genetic counseling, DNA technology, recombination technology, and you will have eugenics, positive and negative eugenics. Okay, apart from this other application like in the field of forensic science. So this is the basic idea that we have got. Now coming to human evolution. So first is the evolution, then human evolution. So when you talk about evolution, the concept of evolution is very central to the discipline of anthropology, because anthropology never questioned that whether evolution has happened or not. What is evolution? I have already spoken to you yesterday that it is all about change, but all changes are not evolution. Try to understand. So when you are talking about evolution, we are primarily speaking about the uh, organic evolution, evolution of living things in this planet Earth, and then we have to speak about human evolution. So for us, means the student of anthropology, for us, man is a product of evolution. Therefore, human evolution is intimately related to origin of life and its development on the faces of earth. So it is directly connected with, you will find that if you think about organic evolution means, unlike other creatures, be it unicellular animal and the complex creature like a human being, all will have the similar properties. It is so, it implies that we are having common origin, we are having a common ancestor. So you will have to see that actually, that is, otherwise you can say that molecular logic of life. Okay, so that's why you will find that one is your origin, another is your evolution. Try to understand these concepts, because evolution of earth, evolution of this universe, you will find still physicists are working. So those who are from, they will speak about black hole theory, string theory, so many theories they are experimenting. We are not concerned about the evolution of only living things. And when you speak about the evolution of living things, means you have to two things: one is origin of life, another is evolution. And when you speak about evolution, means evolution of this, how human has evolved. And for this you have to understand what is the basic principles of evolution. The first unit dedicated for your basic principles of evolution. What are the basic principles? Speciation. Darwin, as all of you know, and those who have also have seen that man who is a British naturalist, and he has given origin of species by means of natural selection. His postulation is this. He says that about 10 billion years after the formation of the universe, the Earth was formed. Try to understand. So roughly 10 to 14 billion years, our, if you find the age of our universe, uh, and after the universe formation, you will find the planet Earth was formed, and life on Earth appeared far less, nearly 3 billion years ago. Okay, the first form of life appeared in our planet Earth, and the origin of life is the most critical, since uh, you will not find any concrete record, but there are some you can say elements, you can say nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, and that combined, and that give rise to first the primordial molecule, biological macromolecules, RNA, from RNA to DNA, then DNA to unicellular animal, unicellular to multicellular animal, invertebrates, vertebrates, finally humans. So it is the stages of evolution. So how it is happened? Through speciation, through extinction, through parallelism, through convergence. There are principles. So your first block will be dedicated on principles of evolution, theories of organic evolution. When you look at, primarily we are speaking about, because in school days we have studied about two scholars' contribution. One is J.B. Lamarck, another is Charles Robert Darwin. Lamarck has given the postulation inheritance of acquired character. Charles Robert Darwin has given the concept of, you can say, theory of origin of species by means of natural selection. So they are having, because it is not like that they are the first authority or scholar they have given. You have to see that first group of scholars are Greek and Roman philosophers, or every known society has its own explanation about who are they, where they have come from, how they have evolved. So one is, you will find that is cultural, or you can say social explanation. But if you go on inquiring where the idea has evolved, first you will find that the Greek and Roman philosophies, it dates back to 300 BC. Okay, then you will find that the 15th century, 16th century, 17th century, and you will find there is a dominance of 19th century. So what you will find that ancient society, particularly the Greek and Roman philosopher, there you will find that lives come from living things, originate from non-living things, and living things comes from living things. So life comes from life. So these are the some of the ideas you will find Aristotle, Empedocles, various scholars, Herodotus. So all these they have contributed as far as theories of organic evolution concerned in the that is the early phase of that the idea prevailed in Europe. Second, but then when the church grew up and people have started just a reverse movement in the middle, in mid part, you will find that they won't believe on that this change, and they think that everything is fixed. That it is they believe on creationism. Everything created by God, everything is fixed, including your colors, lineage, including your period. Okay, they all believe that actually everything is fixed. They calculate also. Father Surya has calculated the and the first creature Adam and Eve. And by that time, you will not find anthropology. By that time, most of the European, like Portugal, Dutch, this people from Spain, people from France, they establish their colony in different part of Africa and Europe. They come in contact with varieties of human beings, and if their mind is fixed that everything is created by God, they try to explain others. They are the supreme creatures, other are lesser humans. So the primary exercise of or you can say agenda behind this racial exercise is that one of the reason is that they want to justify that they are the supreme creature as versus the others. So the theories of organic evolution in the 15th 16th century till 19th century till you can say J.B. Lamarck, you will find that it's primarily rooted with the belief ideas that has prevailed in the Europe. And then the first scholar who has actually give a tremendous impact is your J.B. Lamarck. J.B. Lamarck in 1809, he comes with his idea in his book Philosophy Zoologique, and he described the evolutionary factor. And he dominated around 50 years. And in 1859, Charles Robert Darwin comes, not a single idea. He borrowed the idea prevailed in Europe at that time period, and he mixed all everything and come with that it is the natural selection in the force which is responsible for creation of a new species. So that's why you will find in principle of evolution your first concept is speciation, how new species were evolved from a species. There are many explanations were there. Then in 20th century, the unit 3 is dedicated to synthetic theory. Synthetic theory or modern synthetic theory, it is a combination of, you can say, ideas of various people. It is not a single person has combined. It is the idea prevailed, or you can say explanation about the change that we are experiencing or we are observing the natural world. That is explained through various postulations or principles, methods, techniques that is available with us. That is a modern synthesis. And the final unit, that is the paleoanthropology, it will speaks about your ladder of human evolution on the basis of direct evidences in favor of life. So these are the basic structure of your this unit. And coming to your first block, that is primarily talks about I have already given you some idea of what is pre-Darwinian theories of evolution and principles of evolution: speciation, irreversibility, parallelism, convergence, adaptive radiation, and extinction. You just try to understand these are some of the uh, I mean the concept that is been given to you that is relevant for you. There are a lot of things are there in it. First you have to understand what is the concept of evolution. When you talk about evolution means it is primarily you have to understand that it is a change, and or you can say but all changes are not evolution. So Herbert Spencer is the English philosopher who introduced the concept of the organic evolution or evolution to denote the historical development of life. Life is nothing but change. So changes within the organism over a period of time. So microevolution and macro. Micro means small, within macro means large. And so our organism, it actually uh, got a new shape with the you can say the theory that was laid by Charles Robert Darwin in 1859, and one of the greatest authority of this evolutionary understanding is Theodore Dostoevsky, and for him he stated that actually evolution is the development of dissimilarities between the ancestral and the descendant population. Darwin explained it descent with modification or continuity of life with constant modification. These are the when you talk about to change means you can expand this concept in a way that descent with modification or continuity of life with constant modification or development of dissimilarities between the ancestral and the descendant population. And as I've told you that the pre-Darwinian theories of evolution start, you will find that Aristotle, Herodotus, Empedocles, biogenesis. Abiogenesis means life come from non-living things, life come from living things. Okay, and the credit was given primarily to Empedocles because he has given the idea or of evolutionary change actually. So they are more systematic, but whatever things available at that time, they are very scientific in nature. And the medieval theories, that is the otherwise you call it the Christian era, was actually witnessed dramatically opposite view of evolution of Greeks, and they, as I have told, that they mostly believe on fixity of species, not a change. And they believe on creationism. So they have devised actually the time period is 9 a.m. on October 23rd, 4400 BC. So Adam and Eve has evolved, and this continued till the end of 18th century. Okay, then also people do believe on you can say existence of a god and a fixed system of species, but still Thomas Linus also a strong believer of that school, but still he has worked in 10 volumes from 1735 to 1756, System and Nature. And he is the first authority on the basis of similarity and difference of animals and plants. He classified and placed them in a ladder. That is known as, you will find that plant kingdom, animal kingdom. So he has classified this living world into phylum, class, order, family, genus, and kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, and there are seven taxonomical levels. Then you will find that in the 18th century also, the French scientists like Comte de Buffon and also suggested strongly that life forms are not fixed. So there are confusion started also. So varieties of human, because Buffon's observation is with respect to different types of humans, like the pygmies, the Indians, the Africans, they come across different variety of humans. So they thought that no, life is not that fixed. The way we understood and narrated, or that is there. And another is Amos Darwin, also 18th century scientist, also the grandfather of Charles Robert Darwin, suggested his work. Is also strongly contended that Earth and life is must be evolving for millions of years and the history of mankind. So after Lamarck's work, Inheritance of Acquired Character, the strongest critic of Lamarck is George Cuvier. Okay, he's also another, he's a French scientist, and he is believing on catastrophism, uniformitarianism. So there are many, you will find that principles like a theory of Aristotle, theory of eternity, theory of divine creation, theory of spontaneous origin, theory of catastrophism, uniformitarianism, cyanogen, chemosynthesis, theory of virus. Then finally, you will find that in 19th century, you have come to Lamarckism, then Darwinism, Mendel's theory, mutation theory, synthetic theory. The whole theory, you will find that the basic structure that is in this block that is been given is primarily rooted on this. Coming to the principles of evolution, as I have told you that when you look at these principles of evolution, it is primarily uh, means how this principle and evolution is actually happening actually. It happened through various ways. One is speciation, irreversibility, parallelism, and convergence, adaptive radiation, extinction. So these are the some of the evolutionary principles. And Mayer in 1970 actually defined the speciation as the creation of a species. So means how species were formed, and that is known as a speciation. The process of formation of new species is known as a speciation. Okay, so when you look at this speciation, it is of various types. So mere actually instantaneous speciation and gradual speciation. So instantaneous speciation through at an individual level, it may happen genetically by single mutation in asexual species or by macrogenesis. Genesis means division. Cytologically, by chromosomal mutation or aberration, you will have a inversion, translocation, deletion, duplication. There are various chromosomal aberrations by non-distance or polyploidity. So these are the it happen at individual level and through population level. At population level, it will happen through geographical and sympatric speciation. So the process of speciation is uh, possible by four different mechanisms: allopathic, parapletic, sympathetic, and quantum speciation. In allopathic speciation, when uh, also known as geographical speciation, you will find that actually isolation is the key factor in speciation. Wagner is one of the authority as far as we will study in synthetic theory that how this uh, isolation, geographical isolation play an important as far as the formation of a new species is concerned. Similarly, you will find that Darwin primarily observed the Darwinian finches and different islands, and the finches are the same species but they are different. So he observed that was actually given in your, you can have an understanding. Parapatric speciation. In this model, speciation, a small population entered to a new habitat but differ in physical separation between the two populations. Originally one population there, a segment of this that will go to another habitat, that ultimately give rise to a new type of group that is not similar with the different from the means ancestral population. Sympatric speciation, in this case of sympatric speciation, two or more descendant species from a single ancestor, and these occupy same geographical localities. So in the course of evolution they are separated, but now they are having the same habitat. Quantum speciation, Grant in 1971 defined quantum speciation, the budding of a new and very different daughter species from a semi-isolated peripheral population of the ancestral species in cross-fertilization organisms. Okay, so that is known as a quantum speciation. So speciation or formation of species from a species can happen at the individual level, as or you can find that at a population level. So similarly, irreversibility. This is also known as Doll's law of irreversibility. Is a French born. Uh, uh, he laid this principle and he said that actually uh, an organism is unable to return even partially to a previous stage. Means that is once an animal has passed through a number of stages, a reversion stage by stage to the original ancestral condition does not occur. So if it is a very descriptive generalization. It is not a law of nature, and one must realize that it is not a property of living organisms. So, okay, particularly dentition of a given form is often crucial evidence of its ancestral or descendant status with respect to another form. Okay. Similarly, parallelism. Uh, I mean, it's the same in function, different in structure. So homology, analogy, you will find that the similar structure, similar adaptive relationship, or similar behavior occur in different groups of animal as a result of similar evolutionary opportunities. So a fundamental biology is that if there is a close similarities in the total morphological pattern of two organisms, there is a reasonably close phylogenetic relation between them. Okay, am I audible? Hello. Yes, I am not making my video. Someone has requested me to uh, switch on my video because of some personal problem. Actually, I am passing through a very ritualistic life. I have to leave and I have to come for some other assignments. But as I have committed this earlier to your center, that's why I am just uh, continuing your program. Actually, I am having lot of assignments, and at domestic level also some issues. So I am undergoing some rituals. I have to not clean my face and everything. That's why I'm not making this video switch on. Okay, please bear with me. When time will come, some other times I will definitely switch on my video. Okay, is all right. Okay, so parallelism, convergence, then you will find that adaptive radiations. Okay, so there are many examples you can able to understand. Parallel means is similar. A reads at A1 reads at B1. Similarly, A2 also reads at B1, B2. So they move it. They are having common means a time of origin is same. They are in the evolution line. They are still continuing. Similarly, when you talk about convergence, you will have also divergence. Okay, so same origin, but they are not, they are fall apart from each other. That is divergence. Convergence means they are different time of origin, but they fall in the same thing. So you will find many examples of primates and mammals. Okay, you will find these are the best example that is available. Okay, and one of the most important principle is your adaptive radiation. Adaptive radiation is the name given to a rapid increase in number and kinds of any evolving groups of animal. For example, primate adaptive radiation. When I have already told you in my earlier lecture that primatology deals with the both extinct and the living primates. When you speak about living primate that is available with us, we are having monkeys, apes, and humans. Okay, so if you see, look at the evolution of primates, it dates back some 85 million years back. So you have a Cenozoic era, you have Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, Pliocene, Pleistocene, and Holocene. Holocene is very recent. Anatomically, you will find that the modern men's, you will find you will find that all civilizations, everything started 10,000 years before it, years before present. So you will find primarily deals with that Holocene period. So adaptive radiation, when you talk about when rapid increase in number and kinds of any evolving group of animals. Okay, so a group of animals, a species, a genus, a superfamily, you have to understand what is a species. Species are primarily you can say that reproductive isolates, you can say human as a species. Okay, so reproductive isolates, genus, so kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. So this way you will find Homo sapiens, genus Homo sapiens. So when you speak about Homo, it means Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens. So Homo is a group. There are different species. Species are, you will find that habilis, erectus, and sapiens. Okay, so this is the when you speak about adaptive radiation. So the journey will be go with gradual modification from pre-monkey to monkeys, monkey to apes, apes to humans. So within humans also, it is not a single line. It is a many divergence. You will find Australopithecus, more ape, characteristic less human, Homo habilis. That Australopithecus so you will find that you can study any you can plant an animal species And this is one of the basic adaptation followed by evolution, or mutation, adaptation, and followed by evolution. So these are the uh, best example when you talk about adaptive radiation. That's radiation means adaptation means a permanency at the genetic level that give you an adaptive advantage that definitely give rise to a new type of forms within that when you compare with the ancestral group. And the last one is your extinction. Extinction is name given to the disappearance of animal groups such as the species from the evolutionary record. Okay, so you will see that no more. Okay, the debate is still going on, and recently you will know that actually for human evolution, Sebet Pabov has got the Nobel Prize, and we are still exploring where this Homo sapiens Neanderthalians were gone. Are they mixed with this modern man, anatomically modern man Homo sapiens sapiens, or they are actually extinct? Okay, so extinction is considered to be the death of the last individual of that species. As per a recorded history, many plant animal species have existed. At the verge of extinction also there. So endangered plants and animals, you might have heard about that. So extinction is not an unusual event, as species are created by speciation and disappearance through extinction. Extinction is a natural phenomenon. It is estimated 99% of all species that have ever lived are now extinct. So, you know about the best example is your Mesozoic era. You have seen that a Jurassic Park, Jurassic, Triassic, and Cretaceous, the golden age of reptiles. We are now having only the evidences of dinosaurs who do not have dinosaurs. But there are species who are actually still continuing even before Precambrian period. Okay, so pseudo extinction is also another term that is used in evolution. So extinction of a parent species where daughter species or subspecies are still alive is also called as pseudo extinctions. So Eohippos. Okay. Uh, if you want to see study the evolution of a horse, evolution of elephants, so evolution of many plants and animal species, you will find different type of continuum. You will find. Now coming to this unit two, theories of organic evolution. I think that I hope that you will not have any issues with respect to your block one, or if you have anything, you can raise your hand or you can ask me so that we can really interact you more. Are you getting whatever I am actually delivering before you? MPhil course started now. Okay. Yes, you are eligible for PhD program. Even I know the student who did PhD, and not in anthropology, but some other sciences, other social sciences. You have to find out your examiner, and you can enroll your PhD. But MPhil course is discontinued very recently by um, University Grant Commission. Don't go for any MPhil program anywhere. Okay, because that is not officially recognized. Okay. Any other questions? If you have anything. Now the world is moving with artificial intelligence. You can whether you are having a degree in online offline mode, that doesn't matter. You have to compete. But the gaps that I have seen with respect to ignomaterial, and ignomaterial is one of the best material that I have seen. And my association with igno is very long back, since I was in a government college, before prior to I am in the university. But the important thing is that in universities, it is you will find many more things we are covering, which because it's something given you very fixed. But in university uh, mode of learning, you will find much more actually. Being a professor, we will have to cover so many things. For example, in your first unit, I will have means definitely talk about Indians. Indians how it is grew and evolved in India, how is it actually developed in Odisha. So that is not there in your curriculum. So it is better not to disturb you or confuse you actually. So these are the things that we develop our curriculum according to our own need, but it is a centrally framed curriculum. So whatever there from in Delhi, that you have to accept. So that obviously they will think about the entire country, okay, or in the international market how will best you will fit. But here you will find that the gap is very visible, that here I have to see that how physical anthropology will be, what is the scope of physical anthropology in Odisha, and where we have to contribute, and how this discipline grew in Odisha and in India. Okay, these are some of the limitations that you will find not there in your content. So coming to this theory of organic evolution, many of you have already passes through, as I have told you that in your school days, these are very Lamarckism, Darwinism are very common. But let us see theory of a spontaneous generation or abiogenesis. The term implies that life comes from non-living things. Biogenesis means living things come from living things. Okay, so so this is the way how uh, the cell theory actually. Uh, uh, that also many theories also have that cells are coming from pre-existing cells, so life come from life only, so that you can say. But prior to that, lives come from non-living condition. This is that the theory argues that for unchangeableness of the universe. These are all Greek and Roman philosophy, then Christian era theory of a special creation or creationism. This is the by means the father should given credit for this. And uh, he thought he said, and most of us we are also thinking when at the time of crisis during COVID also think that when modern medicine fails, we will directly believe on the existence of God and we rush to the worship everywhere. So this is a very common human tendency. So this was also very dominant in the Europe, that is known as the theory of special creation or creationism, that the entire universe created in 6 days, that is created by divine power. Okay, so this then theory of catastrophism, as I've already told, one of the greatest critic of Lamarck is Cuvier, George Cuvier. And so, the earth is evolving with the periodic catastrophes. Okay, so this catastrophe you will find also in Hindu mythology also. You will find that the Lord Shiva is the destroyer, Lord Vishnu is the Palangat. So you will find theological explanation and a scientific explanation, the whole journey in 18th 19th century. You will find that it is the idea is almost same in everywhere all over the world. And finally, the organic evolution. So evolution, so uh, generations of philosopher, natural historian, biologists have contributed to the development of evolutionary theory. And from the time in, many things, it is not like the Lamarck is the first authority is given, but he is given the first systematic explanation about theories of organic evolution. As I already told you that his theory is inheritance of acquired characters. He did not knew about genetics, nothing was there, but he explained about that how these characters were acquired and inherited to the next generation. And he has cited the example of elongation of neck of giraffe. And his basic postulation are there is an impact of environment, influence of environment that leads to use and disuse of organ. Okay, and the that character that is acquired because of continuous use will be inherited to the next generation. So influence of environment, use and disuse of organ, inheritance of acquired character. These are the broad postulations. And how it is happened: inert arcs, direct environment and new desires, use and disuse, inheritance of. This is the postulation that is given, and this is the very popular picture. You will know that elongation of neck of giraffe that is there in your book in that block, and the flightlessness of a kiwi, the bird that is found in New Zealand. Okay, so but Lamarck has faced very severe criticism. Many things that he could not, because at that time there is no concept of gene and genetics. So mode of transmission of characteristics was not well understood. There is no idea at all. So Weizmann, actually, a German biologist, caught the tail of white mice for 20 generations, and they failed not find a single mice without tail. Similarly, many practices, pricking up a nose, or the you can say that cutting of the circumcision of male and female genitals. Chinese women wears iron shoes. So many practices there you will find. You will never come across an individual who is with that characteristics. So which character is inherited, which character is not inherited, he did not knew. That was only solved after the German that scholar Weizmann, who comes with the germplasm theory. that many of you know. So, but Lamarckism again at the same time, many also they come something improvised form of Lamarckism, or they improved Lamarckism. McDouglas, Spencer, Cobb, and Picker, and many Sumner, and they modified the Lamarck that known as Neo Lamarckism, and they experimented on the impact of environment, and how character are coming, learning experiment, escape route of rats, and that was found also suitable. Today, if you see that in 21st century, though this is all already there in the beginning of late part of 19th century, it was strongly criticized. Then people have improvised it. But today again, you will find in 21st century, it is again people are supporting. One of the concept here, epigenetics. If you go on browsing in internet, then you will find that Lamarckism and epigenetics, you will find detailed informations. Beyond gene, there are many with respect to onset of cancer or many more diseases. You will find that it is known as a epigenetics explanation. And another postulation given by origin of species by means of natural selection by Charles Robert Darwin. In he was when Lamarck gave his idea at that time, Darwin was born actually on that year, same year 1809, and in 1859 Darwin comes with a whole different type of idea, and this idea he primarily borrowed from uh, Thomas Malthus, his friend Charles Lilly, Alfred Russel Wallace, Herbert Spencer. So he, whatever idea prevailed at that time, he mixed up everything. So he come and derived a conclusion out of that, that is the origin of a species. So enormous fertility or prodigality of overproduction leads to struggle for existence. That is a interspecies, and struggle with the environment leads to variation, leads to natural selection. Then finally, origin of species. These are the postulations given by the cause and effect, overproduction or prodigality of overproduction, because you are having very limited space and food. So, but uh, you will find that everybody is producing more, or whatever they produce, if they all survive, then uh, as all are not surviving, there is a struggle going on between them actually. That leads to intraspecies, interspecies, and with the environment, the struggle, and that leads to variability and heredity, and you will find that then survival of the fittest within the struggle that leads to, or nature will select. So, and finally the modification of the species. That's why you say that in this process you'll find new species were evolved or originated. So one of the strong follower of Darwin is Thomas Huxley, and he published another book, Man's Place in Nature, in 1800 um, 63. And then Darwin comes with another book in 1871, that is Descent of Man. Neither Darwin did not touch about human beings in 1859 work, but after he got his popularity, many followers, many critics were there. One of the greatest follower is here, Thomas Huxley. He wrote about on man's place in nature, and they, you will find that they placed chimpanzees very close to human anatomically. And after that, Darwin in 1871 published a book that is Descent of Man, where he first time said about men are coming from monkey-like ancestors. But till today, everywhere, if you ask that what this anthropology they are teaching in human evolution, we are evolved from monkeys. It is not like that. Monkeys have their evolutionary journey, humans have their own evolutionary journey. But the important thing is that actually the descent of man has actually give a new type of you can say controversy at that time, and because he gathered the courage to write about that is direct going against the church and against the belief system. That's why you will see that even today many countries in Europe, in USA, most of the Islamic countries, they were not even teaching evolutionary theories at a school level. Some of them are practicing at a university level. Okay, because it directly goes against their belief system. So there are a lot of criticism also to Darwin. Okay, many people, it is not natural selection, it is natural rejection. Okay, so Darwin did not knew about the mechanism of this heredity and variation. So he brought another theory of pangenesis. So lot of confusions were started with the Darwin's theory, and then another turn comes after 20th century. Because of that, at that time you will find that the concept of ecology, concept of germplasm theory, you will find that the mutation theory by D. Harris, and also the genetics, that is rediscovered in 1900. So all this gives rise to a new type of explanation that is known as neo-Darwinism. And who are the proponent? You will find at August Weismann, Ernest Haeckel, Lilly, Huxley, Wells, Simon. They all supported the natural selection. R. A. Ronald A. Fisher, Sewell Wright, Jabez Halden. Jabez Halden also spent time in Bhubaneswar. Okay, he's a great British mathematician and evolution biologist who spent some time here in Bhubaneswar. And they actually they supported the, because Darwin said about origin of species by means of a natural selection. So they supported that theory actually, because the natural selection is still, in today you will find that one of the powerful agenda for this change. Okay, and there are many lines of evidence in support of Darwin's theory. Fossil is one of the direct evidences. So human fossils, which was not considered earlier, now people have started considering humans direct ancestors evidences. And today we have decoded the DNA of our human ancestors. Ancient DNA analysis is another field today, that for which we got a Nobel Prize, uh, that Max Planck Institute of Evolutionary Anthropology. Okay, Pavo has got this Nobel Prize in 2022 in physiology and medicine for pursuing research in human evolution, adaptation to living organisms. So these are the adaptation is also very relevant topic, and when you will want to see today and contemporary applications. So in 21st century also you will find that also these two concepts, Darwin's legacy still prevailed, and is also highly valued. And people are talking about today Darwinian medicine. So I'm not going to confuse about this. How Darwin is now, the idea of Darwin is now applied in order to understand the complex diseases and its prevalence in different um, uh, in our society. Okay, and there is a distinction obviously within Darwinism and New Darwin. Darwinism is led by, given by Darwin. New Darwinism is a group of scholars, and they primarily support and look the things the way Darwin has thought of. Now the last two, the unit 3 is dedicated to the 20th century, that is synthetic theory, that is primarily based on mutation theory, genetics, you can say natural selection, gene flow or migration, isolation, the isolation concept of Wagner, genetic concept, recombination of, you can say, Mendel, then natural selection, then Sewell Wright's genetic drift. Okay, so it is a combination of scholars, means a group of scholars. They have their independent ideas, and they explained about the what brings the change, what are the forces that is the primary reasons responsible for change. So here evolution means change with respect to gene frequency. Okay, so there is a historical development of the concept of evolution. Again, it was repeated. So in this unit, and that we have already discussed. And synthetic theory, as I have told you that when you talk about the variation, the change, then the first is come as a mutation. You will find that gene mutation, and you will find chromosomal mutation. Gene mutation or point mutation. Okay, you have gene means DNA. DNA means your it consider try to find the ATGC, adenosine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. Any change happened, you are having triplet codon. Any codon change it will have a bearing on the population. Best example is your sickle cell anemia. Similarly, chromosomal abnormalities can happen at a structural level, at a numerical levels. And at a structural level, it will happen normally through duplication, deletion, inversion, and translocation. And it is happen because of during the chromosomal anaphase lagging or chromosomal non-disjunction. And there are, what is the cause? There are many causes are there. Okay, and that leads to your actually the gene mutation and chromosomal mutation. But the most important thing is your recombination. It happens during meiosis and Pachitin stage when the homologous chromosome they exchange. The difference that we are observing in the human population or any other you can say higher grade plants and animals. It is because of a genetic recombination. All sexually reproducing animals have undergo the genetic recombination. It happened during gametogenesis and at the Pachitin stage, the first prophase Pachitin stage where the sister chromatids they exchange their arms. Okay, that give rise to new combinations. So that's why you will find that whenever there is the children may inherit some characteristics of father, some characteristics of mother. Maybe the mother is dwarf, father is tall. You will find sometimes offsprings are having a male with the male baby with the short stature with the um, dark complexion of father. So this combination happened during the process of gametogenesis, and that is another powerful force of change. And the natural selection, I have told you that Darwin is the authority who actually popularized the term origin of species by means of natural selection. Nature will select. How it will happen? Maybe positive selection, maybe negative selection, maybe stabilizing selection. If you see that a trait will remain constant generation after generation, then you will say that it is a stabilizing selection. If it is diminishing, it is a negative selection. If it is increasing, it is a positive selection. It is the simplest way one can understand. For example, if you want to see the distribution of ABO blood typing in a population, A blood group, B blood group, O blood group, AB type, then if you see the same number of individuals remain there in that same proportion in that population, generation after generation, you will say that it is a balanced, it is a stabilizing selection. If it is favoring only one blood type, then you will say that it is a positive selection for that, it is negative for others. The best example is the recent we have passed a very difficult time, that is you can say COVID. COVID has eliminated, some studies reveals that actually um, some means I mean, persons with a definite blood group are very prone. They died soon when they compared with other blood types. A positive is a vulnerable group. Similarly, malarial, you can say there are certain diseases which are associated with a certain blood group types. So I have given one blood group type, and this was studied by Hardy and Birenbox, that is known as Hardy-Birenbox genetic equilibrium. They said that actually when a population is and there is a random matching, there is no evolutionary force. The frequency of gene will remain constant generation after generation. So this plus 2pq plus q plus p and q are two characteristics within a population. It will find in homozygous heterozygous condition, and 50% 1 is to 2 is to 1 in Mendelian principle. You will find means how can you study the distribution and evolution with respect to natural selection. Then another is sexual selection, and as you know that actually more attractive to a particular to the opposite sex because of certain feature reproduce more, thus increase the frequency of those feature in the gene pool. For example, a you just see that selection. When you talk about human being, you will find another social selection. I am not going to that. And at the time of human mating or marriage, you can say one is biological, another is cultural. In human mating, what the chance of a short stature boy? A short stature boy will only having an opportunity to marry of equal height girl, mean short height girl or uh, less than that. Okay, but a tall boy can marry a short girl, a tall girl, all height girl. Similarly, reverse. A tall girl will have a very limited options. Only she will marry a tall boy only. Are you getting whatever I am just explaining you? You try to find out sexual selection apart from your biology, apart from your social, economic, religious, all thing. One selection process is going on in the humans that is unnoticed. That is that if the boy is tall, he is having maximum opportunity to marry whatever height girls. But if girl is tall, it is reverse. She is having restricted. If the boy is short or dwarf, then he will marry a very limited. If girl is a dwarf, it will not have any problem. So this is some of the, I have given you just one example with respect to your height, how it is happened at the time of be it a arranged marriage or be it a, your, you can say, like marriage, you choice each other, choice based marriage. So normally it happens the height of boy is same or higher than the girls. So if you, that is the postulation you see, then you will find this. Then gene flow or migration, best example is that this Anglo Indians, American Negroes, American Chinese. So you'll find that actually even today also people from Egypt who come and settle in South India are there. People came from, you know that many more India is a very you can say melting pot of various migrations and various tastes of people are there. So the phenomena of transfer of gene from one population to another is a term as gene flow, or you can say migration. Today you will find that we call it a diaspora. Okay, so you will find best example is your West Indies team, Sivaran Chandrapal. So you will Siva, you will find Paul, you will find. So you will find how it has happened with this. Though you will go to 200-300 years history. Genetic drift is another important aspect in modern synthetic theory. Smaller the population, greater the fluctuation, and greater the population, lesser the fluctuation in gene frequency. That is known as Sewall Wright effects on sampling error. So then we have already discussed about the species, how it is the species is formed, and there are four base: allopathic, parapathic, peripatric speciation, sympatric, and polyploid and speciation at individual level, at a population level. And mutation, neo mutation, D. Harris actually conducted the experiment, and he brought the modern you can say it was in 1890 with the study of D. Harris and Batson. Uh, they actually view in the first 3 decades of 20th century. It was a modern synthesis or synthetic theory. The modern synthetic theory actually its root is with the De Vary's theory of variation. Okay, so with this, I think that this block three is, I think that I have given, and I have given some idea. If you have any thing to know, there are some you have to read. Okay, if you are without reading, you will come. As we are teachers, we are actually well versed with this concept and everything. So normally it should be have a both the way interactive mode. Then things will be much easier for me. Okay, and the final uh, unit is your paleoanthropology, which is completely different. Okay, so is this all right? Am I audible? Okay, so we will proceed to the last unit, paleoanthropology. It is the you can say, as I have told you, that the direct evidence in favor of human evolution. Uh, Direct evidence, when you speak about direct evidence, means fossil records about our ancestor. So paleoanthropology, when you speak about definition of paleoanthropology, paleo means you will find that ancient or very old, and anthropology means the fossils of humans. Okay, it deals with the human fossils. So uh, so anthropology and it is a combination of both archaeology and physical anthropology, or human fossil with the archaeology. Okay, so that's why when you will come across the various human fossils, I think that actually the first documented, means recognized fossility of Neanderthal in 1854, before Darwin's work published, get it published. Okay, so paleoanthropology has been defined by different scholars. Comas in 1960s defined the study of hominids and anthropoid fossil remains, their proper interpretation, and consequently the possible establishment of a phylogeny or our own species. So the important aspect is that, whenever you will come across any human or human ancestors fossils, you will find that actually the fossil record is very clear. Okay, so then you have to not only uh, describe the fossils, what are the cultural or biological remains you have got, but also you have to reconstruct the phylogeny. Yes, how they have actually fit into the taxonomy, how they have in the animal world and fit in the animal world, ladder of animal world. So, what are the basic principle of paleoanthropology? Identification, formation and forms and functions, association of plants and animals, evolution in the different group of organism, dispersal and distribution of plants and animals in time and space, and correlation. So these are the six basic principles. So first is that you have to identify precisely as possible what he is dealing with this science, since inadequate information leads to erroneous conclusions. There are many things that happened actually. Identification is done only if you know the anatomical details of any fossil specimen. Okay, if you are, you know that actually whether it is a human fossil, whether it is a human ancestor fossils. So the more you go in, you can say earlier stages, you will find very little fragment of the bone. You will normally get evidence, the dental remains, because these are the hardest long bones parts, some part of you can say skull. You will not find soft tissues. All soft bones will be demineralized. Okay. Only you will find teeth. For example, Diapithecus, you will get only the evidence of the teeth remains. Okay. So you have to identify whether it is teeth of humans or primates or other animals. Okay. So you need to have a knowledge about that identification of the bone remains. Second is that forms and functions. By studying the structure of a fossil and drawing parallels with the living organism, the habits of extinct primates as well as other animal or plant can be realized. Okay, man's pelvis or hip bone is designed to transfer weight from. So you will say that vertical idiot posture and bipedalism. How will you say that man? These are two anatomical modifications that really make man a very rational and thinkable animal. By looking at these actually um, uh, means when you to have osteometry, or that's why these are very classic branch within anthropology. We, and you will find that also the arrangement of the fingers, or you can say toes. Okay, association of plants and animals is another strong evidences. It will speak about the type of environment prevail at that time, what type of woolly rhinoceros, for example, that will prevail with that whatever possible environment there, whether they are arboreal, whether they are terrestrial. Okay, and whatever plant and animal species are associated with the this particular species. Similarly, evolutions in the different groups of organism, that plants and animal develop from an earlier and a simpler ancestral form of time. So you will while from fossils you will able to find that let us consider the cranial capacity of our ancestors. So Drypithecus, Australopithecus, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, Neanderthalis, Homo sapiens. So you will find that there is a gradual change in human means brain volume. Cranial capacity means the brain volume. Then you will find dispersal and distribution of plants and animals. So you will see that actually uh, who are they, where they were found and identified. Java man, Peking man. So we can say that Homo erectus is there in Southeast Asia. So prior to that, you will find most of the fossils are there in Africa. So Africa is considered homeland of this evolution of the modern man. And correlation. So you will have to make recognize the synchrony of biological and geological event, because the strata, the layer where you have got what type of possible environment during that time period, and what type of other species were there. So you have to make a correlation. So particularly when you speak about plate tectonic, okay, so 135 millions, 225 millions years ago. So geology, you have to take the help of a geologist. Then you will find that different. So you can biogeographical distribution of animal plants. You will find a strong correlation with this. So coming to the scope of paleoanthropology, apart from these principles, so it is used for in education, in economic application, in knowledge of the past nature. So people out of fun, early days, actually they exchange these fossils as a gift, but now it is primarily utilized for to study, because every day we are coming across various types of fossils. The most surprising is the very huge fossils, and the dinosaurs eggs pelvis were discovered and the entire skeleton were discovered. So that gives us a new type of understanding. And relaxation means Jurassic Park movie, Indiana Jones movie. Those who have actually seen, then you will be able to understand that how it is how they have given that live demonstration of our evolutionary past. Economic application, that it gives guide to the sequence of rocks in the earth crust has been used in locating old and other ore deposit. And you will find that our Moirvans basin is also one of the oldest, actually the Mahanadi cold and other fields are, you will find cold beds actually, particularly they gives us means source of our yearly forms of lives prevalent in this part of earth. Knowledge about the past nature, uh, that will give us ladder of human you can say evolution from paleontology, paleobotany, paleo, you can say anthropology. You will find that paleo environment depend type of pollen grains, flora, fauna, everything that will able to give us the reconstruct evolutionary past. Now coming to the fossils, that as I have told you that when you speak about human fossils, then you have to go to your roots. First is your actually, uh, you have to understand the geological time scale. It is belongs to middle and late Miocene, Pliocene, Miocene, Oligocene, Eocene. So you have to ever about the Cenozoic era. You have to understand the Pleistocene and Holocene period and this uh, time periods. Okay, Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, and Pliocene. So, okay, these Ramapithecus fossils are actually belong to the family Hominidae, genus Ramapithecus. Different scholar have given different. So it belongs to class Mammalia, obviously. So I have given you the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. This is a phylogeny. Kingdom, Animalia. Class, all are mammals. Order, all are primate. Then you will come within the class, you will find that subclass, infraclass. It is belong to Theria and Eutheria. That you will find fixed order. Then after that order primate is been called prosimians and anthropoida. It is belongs to the suborder anthropoida, family hominida, and genus Ramapithecus. Okay, Ramapithecus, the term implies it is first discovered in India, Pakistan. Then subsequent remains were identified in China, Kenya, Hungary, Turkey, and Germany. Okay, so Ramapithecus, you will find that it is a small primate with delicate jaws and teeth. So you will find very little remains about the jaws. You will not find any cultural evidences. Only you will find that some anatomical evidence can be described relatively small hominids sharing certain diverse characteristics only with the hominin. Okay, very little human characteristics, no human characteristics, only ape characteristics. And it is the debates that in the above you have, particularly you will find that it is found in the Sivalik hills in India. Then other, you will find that Kenya Pithecus, Siva Pithecus from also Sivalik hills. Okay, and another important fossils when you look at this ladder of human evolution, that is Australopithecus or Australopithecines. It is the very popular fossil that is discovered in Africa. Again belongs to the family Hominidae, subfamily Hominin, and genus Australopithecus. Okay, so it is belongs to the Pleistocene. So Holocene is very recent. So Pliocene to early Pleistocene. It is the term Australopithecus means southern part of Africa, but it is found both in southern and eastern Africa, and there are many species where it was discovered by Raymond Dutt in 1925, then also Robert Broom in 1938, and Louis Leakey, Mary Leakey, Oldva Garji, the main site station, and one family is dedicated for this. That is Louis Leakey, Mary Leakey, and Australopithecus is having basically morphologically derived characteristics of hominin. Means modern humans characteristics including large brain to body weight ratio, large posterior and relatively small anterior dentition. Okay, with canine. So what you will see that the dental pattern, the structure of teeth, the supraorbital ridges or torus, and the cranial capacity, the long bone structure, all these are the anatomical features. What is the shape of this jaws, whether V shaped or U shaped, and the cranial capacity 440 to 550 30 centimeters. So accordingly, its phylogeny status has been given. So Dryopithecus, then Australopithecus, then Homo habilis, then Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalensis, Homo sapiens sapiens. So this is the ladder of human evolution. You have to remember that. And the cultural evidence you will find with respect to this particular fossil, that is evidences of bone tools. Okay. Another important fossil is Homo habilis after Australopithecus, and within Australopithecus you have robustus form and gracile forms. Two varieties of fossils were identified, and one is your last version is your Homo habilis, tongue baby, and all sort of things you will find. You can have an understand. Just go through it, you will able to understand. Similarly, Homo erectus, the ape man who walk erectly. So bipedalism started with this, then evolution of brain. So it is dates back 1.8 million, and the Australopithecus is around means 4 million to 6 million years before present. So Homo erectus, as the popular fossils are Java man and Peking man. Peking means it's Chokudian China, and so you will find Eugen Duvius. It was the author first discovered this in 1891, and then it was many places. The similar fossils were identified in Africa, North Africa, Germany, Hungary. Okay, so the important that you will find cranial capacity higher than the Australopithecus, and also you will find that the charred bones means use of fire, and there are development in the long bones. Linea aspera is developed, and also the brain is cranial capacity developed. Okay, so phylogeny status is just you will find that is above the Homo habilis, or you can say after Australopithecus Homo habilis, then genus Homo. It is having more human characteristics than ape characteristics, and is very popular fossils you will find, and Eugen Dovius discovered in 1891. That is Pithecanthropus erectus and Homo erectus javaensis. Okay, Senianthropus pekinis. Okay, these are the fossils, and the uh, important fossil which are having more humans, very less, very similar to modern man is a Homo neanderthalis. It is identified from Neanderthal River Valley, Germany, and the time span is 75,000, 35,000 years ago. It is primarily found in Europe, Near East, and possibly in Asia. Okay, and is cranial capacity like modern man, and is having U-shaped mandible and simian cell. You will supraorbital torus is very less, and cranial capacity 1300 to 600 cc. Okay, you will find many developed cultural remains like use of you will find that sophisticated tools and cave paintings, and many more things are there with this, and that's why it is a place just before the immediate ancestor of modern man's. Okay, so uh, this also having two types. One is classical Neanderthals, another is progressive Neanderthal. So La Chapala Saint, La Camel, so many fossils were discovered in the different part of Europe, and the most popular fossils today is that Denisovians. So Denisovians also were also termed as very close to Neanderthals, and they also give the DNA of Denisovians has been decoded. Okay, so they are having the immediate ancestor of modern mans. Okay, and last is your Homo sapiens, the modern anatomically modern man. We our evolution is just 1 lakh years before present, 40,000 to 1 lakh years ago. So 1 to 2 lakhs years ago, we evolved in the eastern part of Africa. 1 lakh years ago, we just left Africa, passes through Asian corridor, and very recently, 40 to 60,000 years before present, we occupied uh, the Europe. So Europe is very recently occupied. So you will find that the evidences Cro-Magnon, Grimaldi, Offnet, these are the Cro-Magnon is considered as the very direct evidence of modern anatomically modern humans, and you will find that many fossils of these modern men were discovered in different part of the world. Okay, and dwellings, tool inventory. So, because the capacity, it is the complexity of brain, and it makes man more rational, and you will find that very strong evidence of a culture with respect to that is the dwelling sites. Okay, so cave paintings very strongly evidence with these fossils. So with this, I think that your all 4 units were uh, I have covered today. And if you have any query or any clarification with respect to this, you can ask me. Yes, we can. I can repeat the speciation part. How species were formed from the species. That is the speciation. First, you have to understand what exactly mean species. Yes, please, Mahapatra.
Hello, sir. Can you guide us about project work, sir?
Uh,
Can you guide us about project work, sir? How to complete project work, sir?
Project work. Do you have
Yeah.
any topic relating to your project?
No, sir. I don't have any idea about that, sir. Actually, I am new to this course, sir.
What project you have been prescribed actually?
Uh, Actually, I don't know about that also, sir.
No, you prepare. Tomorrow I will take the class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
If you have, because there are actually normally in anthropology, that is evidence based projects. Okay,
Okay.
evidence means direct you have to collect the information from the people, then you will just submit a report on that. Okay, and
Okay, sir.
you have to choose the topic of your own interest, and what are the topics are there. For example, someone can speak take choose a topic. You can study the behavior of monkeys if someone interested on primatology, but that type of work is very I little means I think that very few people in the country they are engaged on that. Second, you can study direct various aspects of human beings like anthropology. You can, without going anywhere, you can study the demography. Okay, birth, death. These are the some of the projects we normally prescribe the students. Okay, for which you have to go to a field. Field means nearby area or near a locality or very where you go. So first you have to you just come tomorrow. Okay, you just tell me that what is your what type of project you are supposed to do, where you have to do, what is it, means how, what is prescribed for you, that that I have to know. Okay, what is the duration. Okay, or else simply it is based on secondary data, then you will go for what is the eugenics, for example. In my last class I have given you, or someone has read that what is the speciation, what is the species, what is the speciation, why you will study Darwinism today. Okay, what the use of learning this evolutionary theory? Really, human evolution has happened. You may have some question, give a report on that. But I do not know actually exactly it is primary data, secondary data, or what type of project that has been prescribed. Because uh, this is also first time I am just experiencing. Okay.
Okay, sir.
No need to worry. If you have any problem, you can ask me. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Someone has asked regarding speciation. So I think that speciation can happen at the
Yes,
individual
sir.
level. Yes, Sugyani. Okay.
Y-
So you have a biology in your UG and PG UG level.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello? Yes,
So
sir.
if you are having biology, I think so. You have
Yeah, I have zoology background.
so speciation. What is the problem with you actually? I don't think so because it is.
Sir, actually, whatever you said, I can't able to listen. That's why I asked you to
No, it
repeat
is
it.
nothing different. It is same. Origin of a species by means of natural selection that comes with the concept of a species, and from species to you have to go for a new species. How later on stage we have that knowledge, and that can happen at the individual level, at a population level. And at individual level
Okay,
means
sir. Okay.
through gene and chromosomal aberration or mutation. At population means you may think about through geographical isolation, through you can say migration. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and have species. So in your UG level, you have already dedicatedly studied one chapter. I think that in evolution on speciation. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you,
Thank you. Sir,
you
sir, one
study
more doubt
less
is there.
in this. Yes, please.
Hello? Sir, what is
Yes.
the difference between Homo sapiens and Homo sapiens sapiens?
Species. Okay. So there are three fossils actually within Homo sapiens. Okay, Cro-Magnon, Grimaldi, often they thought that actually because the Homo sapiens
Sir, sorry, not able
binomial
to
nomenclature.
listen. Hello?
Ma'am, your voice is also not coming to me. So there are some breaking voices are
Yes,
coming.
sir. There is some glitch, I think.
Look at uh, species and subspecies. You try to understand in that way. Okay.
Okay, sir.
This is one is genus. Homo is genus. Okay, Homo erectus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, Neanderthalensis. Okay, then Homo sapiens. Are you clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Homo sapiens, Neanderthalensis, Homo sapiens. Okay, you type this, you will find that genus, species, subspecies. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, what is the difference exactly? Sapiens and why two times sapiens it is mentioned?
Subspecies means species, subspecies means you just see Australopithecus. Within Australopithecus, you will find many types. Australopithecus africanus, okay,
Okay, sir.
Australopithecus afarensis. So many types.
So,
They
sir,
all group
is it
Austral
based on location wise or all over wise? Means,
location wise. Location no, it's a time frame. Means you just see when the debate is still there with us that whether the Neanderthals, which are very similar to modern men's, are mixed with us or they were extinct. Okay, but recent studies found that one postulation they are mixed with us. Okay, so what you will say that they are subspecies. Okay, similarly,
okay, sir.
when you talk about Homo sapiens, they are Homo sapiens and Homo sapiens they are not different. They are same actually. Okay,
Hmm.
but between this group, you will find that subgroups were because how will you identify Denisovians? How will you identify Neanderthals? Because they are very much similar with the modern men's. Okay, the fossil records that we are having today are
Hmm.
having exactly same with the human modern men's. But within modern men's also, you see that the ancestor they have actually moved from Africa to Asia to Europe. Europe is recently occupied. Okay,
Yes,
are you
sir.
getting or not? I don't know, but you
Yes,
have
sir.
to
Yes, sir.
there are two postulations are there actually out of Africa and
Recently, Denisovians, the news regarding Denisovians also came out, na sir?
yes, if you have heard about Denisovans, then the look at actually people have actually questioned whether human evolution happened or not in 20th century. Today, people were got Nobel Prize for human evolutionary studies, and the
Yes, sir.
Denisovans genes are there with the Tibetans. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there are certain genes which are very decoded in that fossils were noticed among a population like Tibetans. They inherit means all Tibetans not. There are certain groups which inherit that. Okay,
Okay,
for
sir.
example, we find that also uh, very interesting actually. Last 500 1000 years you will see that people from one region migrated to another region, they had mixture there. Okay, the Anglo-Indians for example. Okay,
Yes, sir.
uh, so species within species, okay, they are not different, they are same actually, they are not different. Okay, but
So,
Homo
sir,
erectus.
so can we say Homo sapiens, sapiens, sapiens? Can we
So
add one more
look at
sapiens? Is there
what is
any?
known as biologic, what will happen we do not know, but the way artificial intelligence and the technology is driving us actually, we do not know what human will do tomorrow actually. Okay, so but evolution is a process, it will not happen overnight, it will take how
Okay,
many
sir.
years? 1,000 years. Okay, it will not look at what is the time period of Australopithecus, it is 6 million. Okay, what is time period
Mm-hmm.
of Homo erectus? 2 million. Okay, what is the time period of modern man? 2 lakhs years ago. Okay.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Anatomically, modern humans, we call as a hominins. Okay. Human and human ancestors. You try to understand, genus Homo evolved some more than 2 million years before present. Modern man evolved actually just 2 lakhs years before present. Okay, in your
Yes,
text it
yes,
is
sir.
10, 40 to 1 lakhs years. We left Africa and we passes through the Asian corridor very recently, 60 to 1 lakhs years ago, and we reached Europe some 40,000 years before present. Okay, and most of the civilizations, be it your Egyptian civilization, Waino River civilization, Indus Valley civilization, what is the time period? 6 to 10,000 years before present. And there was a revolution happened there that is known as V. Gordon anthropology will give you all this platform. So that is known as Neolithic revolution. Man was by nature as a hunter gatherer. As a hunter gatherer, we spend our 99% life. Okay, since our evolution. If it is 2 lakh years ago, means last 10,000 means 90% we spend as a hunter gatherer. Most of the humans, not all necessarily, maximum humans
Yes, sir.
actually spend as a hunter gatherer, and our body physiology is designed for hunting gathering lifestyle. But today, because of industrialization, we are actually having a sedentary life, and as a consequence, the mechanism that we inherit, that is the burning of fats or keeping of the fats. Okay, so
Yes,
you
sir.
can observe the people those who in tradition right now. Okay, if you go to
Mm-hmm.
if there are some communities in Odisha, they are living on their livelihood is on hunting gathering, but things have changed now a lot. If you can you can visit Andaman Island, you will find there are still in hunting gathering tradition. You will not find the extra fat in their body. Okay, if you want to know about the cause of diabetes today, then you have to look the way Darwin and other has did. Okay, the, the exact postulation that we have experienced. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why known as a Darwinian medicine. Okay, that
Okay, sir.
you want to say that why cancer is very much there in our population, why lies in our head, so many shampoos we are using, why so many bacteria are in our alimentary canal, gut bacteria, for example. So
Mm-hmm.
good and bad and how things are there and insects with the humans. So you will find that you have to study from a very evolutionary perspective. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So there is a book known as now the studies primarily these studies which were fundamental for beginners, human evolutionary genetics. Okay, you just go on searching in the website human evolutionary genetics. You will
Okay,
find
sir.
very interesting phenomena. Okay. Actually, you
Okay,
have
sir.
to whenever I am speaking, I think that you have to mute your speaker so that you will able to listen me clearly. Otherwise, there is a resound. Okay, both the voices are coming on either base. So, human evolutionary genetics. When you see that, why the let us consider. I will give one more example. So, in your means a baby born and he is fed with the mother's milk. Okay, so lactodehydrogenase. You see that gene is switch on there. Okay, once you grow up you will not able, today you will want to decide that okay I will not take anything, only I will take milk, then you will be in crisis, you will not able to digest milk. But at the same time you would see that there are communities or populations or societies where you will find that their entire livelihood is centering around on dairy and dairy products. They can take 2 liters of milk with curd, butter, and so many things. And I had my experience that the Tibetans they used to take 80 cup 80 salt butter tea every day. One cup you cannot digest. Forget about 80 cups. So you will see that actually, uh, because that particular gene is still active. Similarly, alcoholic gene, those people who are taking alcohol from their childhood, there are communities who have studied that we have identified one gene among the Bodo Highlanders, Badas of Odisha, Malkangiri Hills. You will find that they are having a very protective gene. If they will consume more alcohol, then they will not have any problem. But because of changing way of life, today you will think that the younger generation they are consuming more alcohol. It means they have to pay heavy price as far as liver uh, damage is concerned, or you will find that issues related to liver. But Europeans they are having a protective gene. Similarly, if you come to South Indians, you will find that they are taking. You will find that that chili and they are having tamarind and other items in their diet very that is common that we cannot tolerate, but they can tolerate it and they can digest it very nicely. There are adaptive genes. So evolutionary study that Darwin onwards actually, and in 21st century the what has been actually focused in biology by Dobzhinsky in 20th century is really happening today. So you can see the phenomena around you from an evolutionary perspective. It is not like that man has evolved from monkeys and we speak about Australopithecus, Homo erectus and finish. No, you have to understand why I am studying this actually, where it is applications. Till now, we are inheriting many insects, so many chemicals, so many powders, so many sprays are coming. Still, mosquito exists. So higher antibiotics we are using. So government is now bothering about that. We have to put a check and balance on use of antibiotics. Okay, so genetically modified crops and its bearing on human physiology. So you have to understand evolutionary science from that. Means it is having tremendous application and also ample scope. Why people, we are now going to face a tsunami of cancer. So government has recent budget. They have introduced cervical cancer, breast cancer, oral cancer, liver cancer. So you will find that cancer is a tsunami. So it will eliminate the humanity. So you have to see that, and the perspective of disease. Earlier, diabetes was thought the disease of rich people, but being a poor country like India, you will find that actually we are the diabetic capital of the world. So you have to understand that the concept of disease and its the its epidemiology is not same. It has been changing, and it happened when first humans settled in water bodies. Hydraulic civilization we are using in archaeology, and you see that most of the civilization started in riverbank sites. And with the human habitation, you will find insect borne disease were also there. Arrival of agriculture give rise to these things, and then finally you have a mosquito, then you have a sickle cell anemia, then a balanced polymorphism. Okay, so many things are there, and this you will be get experience when you will visit any rural communities, particularly tribal communities. Then you will find their disease profile, their food habit, their adaptive strategies. Then you will find that the knowledge, traditional knowledge, how they are coping with this. And the best example is that the Bhumis community, they have got the GI tag for red red chutney. Probably that all those who are in this team, you will agree with me that we cannot take it. But the people know that actually what is the benefit of red and chutney. That is given a GI tag very recently in Odisha. Odisha has got this. Okay. Any clarification, any query, any questions? Sugani, are you clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. You have an interest, you can explore because we are. Yes, Mahapatra, please. If you have any question, you can ask me.
Sir, I have also a doubt, sir.
Yes,
So the
please.
people who live in, sir, Andaman and other people, is the
Okay.
species same or different, sir?
No, no, we are all human beings. Because this,
No, all are human beings, sir. Will we call them sapiens or any other
no,
subspecies,
no.
sir?
Try to understand. Actually, this confusion was with the scientific racism by Europeans.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When they come in contact with these people, they thought that they are not monkeys, not humans, they are lesser humans. God has probably
Right,
created
sir.
them the finest creature, and others are lesser humans. Okay, that discrimination is still going on. Actually, everywhere you will find that is another way. That is known as racism. But today you will see that if you go to you pick up an Eskimo, you pick up an Masai of Kalahari Desert, you can Tibetan, you can Andamanese. We are all humans. We are 99.99% similar. Whatever difference that you are observing, that is 0.01% because of environment. Are you getting whatever I am speaking?
Yes, sir.
Whatever difference you are observing, that is a point zero 0.01, and that point 0.1 difference is now utilized for forensic science personal identification. That DNA fingerprinting and so many things that we are doing, it is 0.1%, 0.01% difference. That is environmental primary. Genetically we are all same. And how many genes are there? Only very less than means it is nearly about 1.5% actually. Most of our DNA is non-genes actually. Okay, that's why you will see sometimes actually two people are exposed to the same environment. One is actually addicted to tobacco, not suffering from cancer, but another person just standing there actually, he is just inhaling the smokes, but he is suffering from cancer. So that's why Lamarckism, which was actually rejected and no use at all, people were thought, is now thinking that non-gene part plays an important role as far as the expression of the genes, that we are having roughly 20,000 genes in protein coding genes. Earlier we thought that there are more genes are there. Okay, so no two human beings that we are today observing in our planet Earth is are different genetically. They are all similar. They are having same genetic makeup. Clear? 0.01% is because of a non-genetic factor. Okay, but when you speak about genetic makeup, then you will find that in our body, when you decode the genes, you will find that only 20,000 to 25,000 protein coding genes were there. Rest of the DNAs are non-coding regions. People were thought that these are junk DNAs, they are no use at all. But today they thought that these junk portion of DNA or the non-coding DNAs are playing an important role for the expression of proteins. So you will find from your childhood to adulthood to your old age, you will find that switch on switch off system is there with respect to your proteins, with respect to your enzymes, with respect to your hormones. Okay, so these are the primary interest of anthropology where we are normally focusing on. Okay, to study with respect to population. They are very unique in the sense that they are not exposed the way we expose to modern world. If you will now go and interact with them. Some of the tribes are still isolated. Then many diseases that we carry that is not with them, that will introduce in that population and that will kill them. That happened in the history and will happen also even today. That's why government of India has given a protection. You know about that the Sompens, Sentinelese. Okay,
Yes,
there
sir.
are
North Sentinels.
exactly. Hello, can you
Yes,
repeat?
sir. North
Yes,
Sentinels.
Sentinel, Sompens, Jarvas, Andamanis, Nicobaris, they are groups. They are already transformed. Andamanis, Nicobaris, they were complete transformed. Okay. So you will find there is a center of anthropological survey of India. One of my student is now working in that is there, and one student is also heading in one unit in Jagdalpur. He spent among the Jarvas. Okay, so what you will find that they are still living in that natural habitat, and the most dangerous is the modern man for them. You can differentiate with respect to immunity, okay, but not with respect to different humans. Different humans in evolutionary journey, it will take some thousands and millions of years that I have already told you that Homo erectus, Homo australopithecus, the gap is 2 3 millions. Okay, from Homo erectus to modern man, 2 million years ago. Million, 10 to our 6. Okay, and how will you establish this? This through this molecular genetics. Many things are now very easier. Okay, any questions?
No, sir.
You read whenever you are having any questions because I will love to interact with you people. Okay, uh, then because everyday happenings around you will have some link with anthropology, and anthropology will give you a platform to integrate the knowledge of archaeology, cultural science or social science, biology. Look at the type of topic we are today discussing. If you study simply then you will come many applications. But if you link it with day-to-day happenings, then you will find that the things will come. Why diabetes is happening to us? Why there is a logic of surviving 30, 70, 80 years with medicines? Okay, we normally starts every household. You will find that plenty of medicines. Today, every morning we are pricking our fingers, testing sugars, cholesterols, everything. Moving to the hospitals, all hospitals are overcrowded. So, what is the contribution of then this modernity, the modern medicine, modern science? We have expanded our longevity from 45 years to 75 and 80 years. But before we are attaining 40, we are so much dependent on medicine. Whatever we are earning, we are only spending on many social scientists are criticizing our journey in modern medicine. So better to die than those who survive during that process. But is every household, every cancer, diabetes, hypertension, these are very common. So if you want to explore answer for these type of complex disorders or non-communicable disorder or diseases, then you have to look at your evolutionary past. Okay, who we are, where we have come from, and how our physiology has been designed, and what we are, why you are experiencing. Okay, how long it will continue like this? Things will. Okay. Yes, please. Anybody who want to interact with me or have any question can ask me. Still, I'm having few minutes, so you can interact with me, or else I can wind up. So we can close it here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.